Okay, so YouTube has a problem and is affecting the Skyebrows community and also way outside the Skyebrows community. This is tons bigger than just us. It's affecting all of YouTube. So I'm going to look at portions of a number of videos. So this one here, I have not seen Don P. Bongwater. He has been demonetized and he's going to talk about it. He always has insightful things. I haven't seen this video yet, but I know he has insightful things. Gonna watch Rev Says Dezu. This video I already watched all of. I'm not sure why there's no red bar on it. But anyways, there's two portions of this video that I want to show to you that are particularly relevant. And then Tactical Templar, the YouTube Inauthentic Creator Demonetization Explained. I linked to this before and said I might react. I did not react to it before. And I'm also going to look at some people's posts and some other stuff. Okay, so I think I want to start off with the one that I've already seen, Rev Says Dezu. Let's go in.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So this is going to be one of those videos where I'm going to be going over some serious problems going on with YouTube as a platform.
Okay, so anyways, let's go. I'm going to show you. Okay, so he's got a whole list of channels and everything that he's going to talk about. It's right about here. Okay, let's go.
Is something that YouTube is prioritizing, especially under its latest CEO, who has made it very clear that when it comes to moderation of the platform, AI is going to be a big part of it. Now, some of that is necessity, right? It's a massive platform with infinite content. There has to be some sort of automation. But YouTube is trying to cut corners and cut costs, and they're...
Yeah. So I think that the YouTube itself, so the Skyebrows community is mostly pro-AI. But using AI for moderation just seems like it needs to be done better. I mean, Rev says it's such a huge platform that they probably have to, and I agree with that. They probably have to use it some, but they either need to use it less or they need to use it differently. Okay, let's keep going.
Basically allowing automation to take over everything involving moderation of their website, including determination of monetization and stuff like that. That's really impacting people. Now, the related rule was actually given an update sort of back in July of last year, where this whole authentic content requirement was specified. Now, of course, this sort...
Yeah, he's talking about inauthentic comment. Let me show you Nihilith. So this is the inauthentic content warning that people get. It's something that looks like this. It says inauthentic content that appears mass-produced or repetitive. Yeah, okay, so let's go back. Where are we? Yes, here we are.
Sort of standard of authentic content didn't really change in 2025. They were just clarifying it. So nothing really changed. If you are someone just making content with any sort of human involvement, you're going to pass the bar on this requirement. In fact, in July, they would clarify that authentic content includes AI. Like if AI is a part or even a major part of your content on YouTube, they will still consider it authentic if there's some human involvement. But in this case, with these channels we're talking about, not only are they being labeled inauthentic, these channels are clearly run by humans. Like we don't...
Yeah. So look at this. Monkey Economics, so not anything to do with the Skyebrows community. Cinevier, which does have to do with, she is a Skybro in the Skyebrows community. Yeah, even women like myself are called Skybros. So this is her right here, a VTuber, and here she is. You can see her avatar. Let me show you, she's been cameoed by Skyebrows himself in, see, here's the Skyebrows video with his mother, Carolina Overdrive is his mother, and this is Skyebrows. It's a collaboration, gonna be Carolina Overdrive. And here she is right here in an actual Skyebrows original. Yep, that was her right there. Yep, and see this? It's only a month old, nearly 200,000 views. And this is a Skyebrows cinematic universe video, so not made by Skyebrows himself, but by one of the many AI music video creators that are gathering around Skyebrows and creating a community. And here she is again, Cinevere. Okay, let's look at it briefly. Bags in the kitchen are heavy and stale. If you won't leave them. Okay, and Banana Juju, another Skybro. Okay, so anyways, so that's Cinevere right there. She is a Skybro. So yes, affecting the Skyebrows community.
We don't have to get into the argument about how much AI is involved in these channels. A lot of these are just straight up regular channels, commentary channels, and they are very diverse in the type of stuff they cover, but they're all getting hit with the same exact reason for their channel demonetization. And here's some examples. The Broken Crown Political Podcast, hit with demonetization. A music channel, same thing. Here, a comic book channel, same thing. Gaming channels hit with this. In fact, here's an interesting one where a live stream channel, who is not even active anymore, was hit with this same inauthentic content rule that demonetized that related channel. Now, the most recent example just happened.
Yeah, look at this, Cinevere. My channel has been demonetized for a reason I don't feel was explained at all.
Right before recording this video, where the VTuber Sin also had their YouTube channel demonetized entirely. And Sin is someone who is on the Side Scrollers podcast, makes appearances there, just like me.
Yeah, Rev says Dezu and Sin both make appearances on the Side Scrollers podcast here. Yeah, see the Side Scrollers podcast? Okay, so let's go back. Where is it? Here we go. Just ignore my cat. He's trying to get me to feed him.
And my wife do every 2 weeks, so this was a pretty shocking thing to see, because if you look at their content, it's just a regular commentary VTuber, right? Like, they are a very real person using a VTuber model in this case, but there's absolutely no way a human being looks at this channel and thinks it is auto-generated slop with no human involvement. Like, it's completely ridiculous. Now, look at the response by YouTube, Team YouTube on Twitter, to some appeals by Sin, trying to get a human to review this. Team YouTube says this: "Thanks for sending this our way. Inauthentic content refers to mass-produced or repetitive content. This includes content that looks like it's made with a template with little to no variation across videos, or content that is easily replicable at scale." And you can see 0 likes on that, because people are disgusted that content creators have to do this. Because this requirement for authentic content, the bar is so low, and the fact that very real channels have to fight to get their monetization back because of this rule is insane and very frustrating, to say the least. And what you just saw on Twitter there is unfortunately what content creators have to do in these situations.
Okay, so he's about to talk about how this this problem gets solved, and unfortunately, it's not going through the normal channels. It's basically going on Twitter, tagging the YouTube team, and making a huge stink for long enough, and having enough followers on Twitter that they're also making a huge stink that it eventually gets reversed. So that's basically what he's about to describe. And I'm not going to watch his whole video because, you know, you can just watch it yourself and see how he describes how that process has worked. But there's one other area in the video that I want to cover. It's where Neon, he's reading stuff from Neon. Let's see, where is that in the video? So the Neon stuff. Oh yeah, here's the Neon stuff. Okay, let me show you. So Neon from Clownfish TV. Let me show it to you. Where is it? Okay.
has been doing over the last year or two has been about maximizing profit for
Yeah, so Neon. So as Rev says, Dezu is reading this tweet right here from Neon. And so this is from the Clownfish TV channel. So let me show you Clownfish TV. And this is a theory that Clownfish TV has been putting forth for a while. And so Clownfish TV with Neon and Geeky Sparkles in it. So they actually have industry experience, and they know a bunch of stuff about Hollywood and the comic book industry and animation and all that stuff. So they know a bunch of stuff. So anyways, Clownfish TV, and look at how big of a channel they are. So they've had this theory for a long time that I've seen, and a bunch of times them talking about, and I think it very well may be true. Let's hear Rev talk about it a bit.
Shareholders and paving the way for the Hollywood takeover of the platform. They don't care about most of us. Most creators are more trouble than they're worth. And that is the brutal and honest truth. YouTube really hates pretty much probably 99% of your favorite content creators because they're more trouble than they're worth. YouTube wants to continue to pivot over towards a television live streaming slash subscription service. Like they want to be a version of Netflix or cable television or all the above, right? They want to be friendly to the entertainment industry. They want Hollywood to think nicely of them and to want to work with them. That is their focus. You know, YouTube, their motto in the beginning was broadcast yourself. Like it was all about content creators. We know that's not the case anymore, okay? That has been a very dead motto for probably over a decade at this point, but it's becoming more apparent than ever. They want the automation. They want the little guys taken care of and out of the picture in some cases so they can make way for the entertainment industry and all of the bigger and more profitable businesses, right? But it's a Gundam here.
Okay, so that's just the segment that I wanted to show you. So I'm done with Rev Says Dezu's video now because I showed you both segments I wanted to show you, but he has a lot of more detail and more interesting things to say, and just a ton of people that have been demonetized. He just covers a tiny sampling of them. And but anyways, the theory here that Neon of Clownfish TV is talking about, that's something that Clownfish TV has been talking about for a while. And so basically, and it's a believable theory to me because I think that YouTube either has already made a deal with Hollywood behind the scenes, or it is hoping to make a deal in the future. And the reason why this is plausible to me is because this is something that a lot of companies have done. They kind of like ruin themselves and pretty themselves up for a specific investor or buyer, and then they get bought out and completely ruined and run into the ground. And but they don't really care because they want to make themselves attractive to a specific buyer. So Hollywood is dying. I've seen a lot of people predict that it might actually die within the next year or so. But Hollywood is still very powerful and it is still very rich. And it could easily invest way large amounts of money into buying out YouTube and trying to turn it into just another awful streaming service where everything that makes YouTube unique in YouTube is minimized or entirely pushed off the platform. And so that is a possible thing that is going on. And so that might happen. And if that happens, I think YouTube is going to lose a ton of its audience. Like Hollywood will bring the infection to YouTube. I mean, it already is. But if the next step happens, the infection that Hollywood brings will be fatal to YouTube. And it might take a year or two for YouTube to completely lose its audience. And during that time period, it's going to be really hard for normal creators to make money, even if they're pretty big. And what are people going to do? Well, probably something else will become the new YouTube. Maybe two or more other things will become the new YouTube, and it won't be like a monopoly anymore. But there'll probably be a period of transition where it's really hard to make money on those other platforms too. I mean, like even the biggest one is like, what is it, less than 1% of YouTube's audience or something like that. Except for, the handful of really huge producers that creators that like Asmongold or whatever. But yeah, you can't just move to Rumble or Twitch or Kick. That's not going to work for most people. Even the big ones can't necessarily do that. They still need YouTube at least as some of their income. So if YouTube falls, something else will rise that's like it, but there might be a period of chaos and confusion where people can't hardly make money. So yeah, we're looking at a huge paradigm shift that could happen if the clownfish TV theory is correct. Another thing I wanted to mention is Nihilith here. He has a theory that he mentioned in one of my previous videos on this topic. Let me look on one of my previous videos. Okay, so Nerdrotic had a video about this, and I already reacted to the Nerdrotic video here. And in the comments of this video, Nihilith was talking about how part of it might just be the running out of space thing, that YouTube, it is becoming increasingly expensive to store all of its vast amount of videos. It's really becoming expensive. That's what Nihilith is talking about in the comments to this video. And YouTube is like trying to just, it's trying to take a sledgehammer to nails that stick up, and it's getting every nail, and it's breaking the board, and it's but it's desperate to get a lot of people to remove all their content from YouTube. It wants to do that because it wants to free up as much storage space as possible. And I think that what Rev Says Dezu is talking about in the earlier part of this video about the method to get your stuff back, which is basically that you need to have a large following on Twitter, now called X, and you need to be able to get that large following to make a large enough stink for long enough in order to get your channel back if your channel's been taken away, or your monetization back if that's been taken away, or whatever. And some people are getting just videos deleted as well. Maybe they kept their channel and their monetization, but they got videos deleted. So all kinds of things are happening. Huge Banwave, basically. But there's a whole bunch of different ways in which they try to get rid of you. It's not just banning you, but a lot of it is demonetization. So yeah, Nihilith had that theory. So anyways, I wanted to go and look at Tactical Templar for a bit. Let's make it big, and let's go.
The inauthentic content. Now, I've been trying to repost and retweet all of these different things as much as I can, because it is a very, very serious problem. In fact, on X...
I just wanted to pause a moment and draw attention to this humor. Look at this banner. It says, "Your #1 most authentic content creator." That is a good use of humor. Okay, so let's put the closed captioning back on and keep listening.
I would encourage all of you to retweet and post this to anyone that you see on X that is currently going through demonetization for inauthentic content. We are getting more and more stories in one space, and what it allows people to do is click on one thing and be able to scroll down and look at all these different stories and look at all these different people. Like, for example, this is Bering's wife. Bering's wife or girlfriend or whatever. It says, so yes, I've been demonetized for inauthentic content, made videos for 10 years and definitely not AI.
Yeah, let me show you Bering, let's see. Okay, let's see. Yep, here's Bering and here's his wife. Yeah, they've got some really good channels, and yeah, it does seem a little bit vulgar from the title, and it is slightly vulgar, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, so let's go back to Tactical Templar.
So even she's posting there, and people are posting their stories, what's happening, and it can create a place where people can be interconnected, and they can retweet and repost this stuff to spread the word. This is what I've decided to do, and people are posting videos. Here's my appeal video.
Yeah, so YouTube asks you to make an appeal video where you just like film yourself explaining, yes, I am a human, and no, this isn't just like several AIs hooked up to each other to churn out videos. But people have been saying that they watch the view count on their appeal video, and their view count doesn't change. In other words, like YouTube does not view the appeal video even.
If you see somebody, please post this and get them on board with this. This is a tool which people can use to find a whole bunch of stories, because there are a lot of people that will retweet this stuff, but then it'll get lost, like it'll get buried, and I just want to make sure that people are aware of this and they can use this as a way to spread the word.
Now that sounds interesting. See, Rev says Dezu was saying that you had to individually have enough Twitter followers to make a big stink. But Tactical Templar is talking about this strategy of a bunch of people banding together and collectively making a stink on Twitter. So maybe that is what will actually work. Let's see, and okay, so let's look at some other stuff. Okay, so the channel of David Perez was demonetized, briefly restored, and then revoked monetization. Let's look at this a bit.
Talk Now with David Perez was also demonetized. But David's actually,
right.
I've actually spoken with David, and luckily those that both have been.
Yeah, shout out to David Perez. That guy has been on the absolute forefront on this. He's been out there retweeting stories, helping people. What he went through was absolutely terrible. Where he initially got a message from YouTube saying that his channel had been restored, but then they apologized and said that they sent him the email by mistake. So
Oh, that is super frustrating. Oh, that just sounds so awful.
Channel wasn't actually remonetized. Now, eventually he was remonetized, but it took a while. So, yeah, shout out to David Perez.
Been reversed, but since then, Broken Crown, which is the channel, a politics channel run by Aiden Paladin.
Oh, yeah, and Broken Crown was being discussed by Rev Says Dezu again. So anyways, this link will also be in the description. I don't just want to watch people's entire video, but yeah, look at all this. Yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna go on the side scrollers a little bit, and yeah, I was actually in this this live stream. And yeah, because Captain Keen, a Skybro, actually a leader in the Skyebrows community, was on there Let me show you. I'm not going to show you even the entire segment about YouTube mass flagging, but I'm just going to show you a bit of it. Okay, let's go on here. And then this is Keen, the pirate VTuber, and he's one of the leaders in the Skyebrows community. Okay, let's go.
And I think you're going to see an influx of channels that may or may not already be over there right now, including Drunk 3PO and a bunch of his channels. We're going to talk about this as channels are being demonetized for various reasons, mainly for what's being considered inauthentic content. We saw Drunk 3PO. This
Oh, yeah, and here's Cinevier again.
happened to Cinevier, friend of the show. It says, my YouTube channel has been demonetized, so now it feels like a good time to tell you that I'm streaming on other platforms. Cinevier reached out and said it was for inauthentic content. Anime Versus, 440,000 subscriber channel.
Yeah, see, 440,000. It's happening to the big ones. It's happening to the small ones. Yeah, it's just happening across the board.
Inauthentic content, right? It says, but here's the funny part. Every video I make takes days. Editing, scripting, pacing, visuals, all done by me. The only thing AI does is voice narration. So let me get this straight. My channel is inauthentic, but ads are still running on it? So it's fake, but still profitable? Make this make sense right here.
Yeah, and think about this. So if YouTube declares things as inauthentic content, demonetizes the channel, and then keeps running ads on it, YouTube is still making money. Yeah, YouTube is still making money off of that, but the person is not. So it seems kind of like a conflict of interest, doesn't it? So anyways, yeah, and Ref says Dezu has a little bit about it here, where look, this person here, as soon as their channel was declared inauthentic, it stopped being suppressed in the algorithm, and look at this huge jump. So yeah, as soon as it was, YouTube didn't have to pay out a share of the money to the person, suddenly YouTube was making a lot of money off of it. So that kind of stuff has been happening. Okay, let's keep going.
And he also got rejected from his appeal here. We also saw the AI guy. It says one screenshot. YouTube's own dashboard, same channel within 2 days. 3 days ago, YouTube demonetized my channel for inauthentic content, mass produced right here. Spent 3 years working 50 to 70 hours per week, building a serialized D&D campaign in an original world right over here. An audience of 12,500 paying supporters across both YouTube and Patreon over here. Now they've all been cut off because of this. And he shows some screenshots here of his channel. You can see all the work that goes into these things. And they're getting demonetized for inauthentic content. So, what exactly does inauthentic content mean from YouTube?
Okay, yeah. So there's a whole bunch here that you can also watch, and I highly recommend it. This link will also be in the description, and I want to go see what the frog has to say. So yeah, he got demonetized actually before the current really bad wave started. Or rather right at the beginning of it, before the big guys started talking about it so much. So let's go in here.
How's it going?
Okay, and then let's look at the description. Oh yeah, and he is on Rumble. Yep. Okay, let's make it big and go back. Sorry about that.
Everyone, I'm Don P. Bongwater. I know. This isn't how I usually appear in front of you guys, but you know what? We gotta talk about something serious. And it's specifically going to be about inauthentic content here on YouTube. For those that don't know who I am, hey, how's it going? I create AI content and I stream how to create it. So, I create short form stuff, I create long form stuff, I've created short films. To date, Ketamine Dreamin' is the longest format one that I have created at 38 minutes total running time. upcoming film, it's always been about the money, will be about 45 minutes runtime. So I do go the distance. I do try and do.
Yeah, so Don P. Bongwater has made stuff about Tectone and about Nux, Nuxanor or Nuxtaku, that have been loved and, you know, paid attention to by those giant creators. So yeah, he's the real deal.
Quite a bit, and tools are vastly better now than they were ever before, so it should be pretty awesome to be able to continue doing stuff and growing as a creator. Now, creating AI content is a lot of fun, and for me, the way I view it, it's a way of making your imagination real. It is a lot of fun to do, and I actually stream the process of it. And no, I'm not trying to make this into an ad that I stream. I do stream on Rumble, by the way, not on YouTube anymore. But just saying, I stream the process, and so you know I show people how to create music. I show people how to create the soundtracks to a film, like on Ketamine Dreamin'. We sat down, we created the soundtrack. There's 18 or 17. I don't know, 16 or 18 songs in that fucking soundtrack. I sat down and created.
Oh, sorry about the F-bomb there. He says that sometimes.
A bunch of shit with the community, right? It's not just me sitting here doing everything. I interact with my chat, and it's authentic as fuck because we actually sit down and we create this stuff. And there's some times where I sit down and I just kind of create things solo on my own, and you know what? It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's still just having fun and having a good time creating just wild stuff here and there, and growing, learning AI, doing whatever we can to push the limits of what we can, and growing skills day by day. Now, whether you like AI or not is kind of irrelevant, because inauthentic content is something that is being labeled across a lot of creators. For example, there's people that are doing hand-drawn art that are getting labeled as inauthentic. There's people that play video games that are getting listed as inauthentic. There's a lot of people outside of AI that are getting hit with it, but AI is, as a whole, is absolutely getting slapped by it. There's a lot of process and a lot of work that goes into some of the AI. Now, there's quite a bit that I think is bullshit, that people come out of their ass and say that, it takes X amount of work to do, when having done quite a bit myself, I know how long it takes to do something versus what somebody says isn't always the truth. But as an example, creating Ketamine Dreamin' and doing really fast generations, that took 150 hours ish to do in 2 weeks. So we got that done in 2 weeks, streamed the entire process, both parts, and then the final ending, all of that shit, all of that, we did that in 2 weeks. That was a lot of fun. That was really fucking awesome to do. But again, it's just going in to show you how much effort kind of goes into something that isn't just, a pug saving a baby in space.
Yeah, so the Pug AI is some really famous AI slop on YouTube that he's referring to here. So there is a ton of AI slop on YouTube, but there's, which might be one guy in Pakistan or Myanmar that pumps out 50 videos a day, and maybe he has 10 channels. So stuff like that happens. But there's also AI that Don is talking about here, where, I've talked to people that have created like a 2-minute music video, and they've said this 2 minutes took me 100 hours of work. Have to write the scripts, have to edit. There's a lot of people that actually sing some of it themselves and have AI correct the singing and make it sound professional. There's people who create the entire musical portion the traditional way, and they just make the AI animation. And it can take forever to get the AI animation to actually look right and good. There are people that make a 2-minute music video and they actually put 100 hours of work into it. And that is not AI slop. That is AI, but it's not slop.
You want to actually have something in there, well, you have to script it out, you have to write it out, you have to storyboard it. Like, you have to actually do something in order to create it. Unemployed opinions. Doesn't matter if you think it's bad or not. That took 13 hours to do. And a lot of the time now that is being taken up whenever you create with AI isn't, necessarily coming up with the ideas. It's getting your generations done. It can take upwards of 30 minutes for a single generation to finish. And that's with an online service, right? That's not even talking about local stuff. So it can be a real pain in the ass. But the point is that AI isn't inherently inauthentic. And it's actually kind of terrible that they're pushing it as such. But
ironically, YouTube is actually pushing its own AI, where they want you to use the YouTube AI to create videos for the YouTube platform. So it's kind of like YouTube has this weird stance where they're very anti-AI, but they're also very pro-AI, just their own AI. I think they're wanting to push people to only use their own AI and to be extra chained to the platform because of doing so. That's just my personal theory. Okay, let's go.
my concern is about the amount of people that are getting hit by it, that probably aren't as strong-willed as I am, that just want to continue creating, right? I'm going to continue to create no matter what. And YouTube was a majority of my income. Yeah, you can, I'm sure after this, people are going to look at my fucking analytics and all of that. Yeah, I know they're in the fucking dumpster. Yeah, I know I probably made, a couple $100 a month, but hey, that's what I lived off of. And you know what? It was pretty excellent. I supplemented it by selling things around the house and, stuff that I've had for a long time, here and there. It's been a lot of hard decisions over the last few months, but you know what? I'm still here. I'm still creating. I'm still doing stuff. But there's quite a few people, and I'm now on a whole bunch of other platforms, so I can hopefully try and monetize there too, in order to continue creating. But the problem is, there's a lot of people that don't have that will to continue going on and continue creating. There's a lot of people that I think are absolutely fantastic at creating, and anyone that wants to create in general. It doesn't matter if I have critiques or anything on what anybody does. That doesn't matter. That's not telling somebody outright or anything of the sort. No matter what I may say in a moment to be entertaining or funny, it doesn't mean just, hey, hang up your hat and never do anything ever again. It's usually something about getting better. But at no point do I ever want anybody to get fucked over by a platform like this. It's not.
Yeah. It's like, he's sort of, he is sort of known as the harsh critic, and then Keen is the pirate VTuber that I showed you earlier on Side Scrollers, known as the nice critic, and they've kind of done like a good cop, bad cop routines, where is what I call them, although they probably wouldn't call them that. Where they look at people's AI music videos and do the, okay, what can we see that's wrong here? What can we see that we can praise here? And just sort of tear them apart. But yeah, even the bad cop, quote unquote bad cop, doesn't want people to actually stop creating. If people have the creative passion, he wants people to keep creating. And AI is this incredible tool that can allow creative people to create without spending decades becoming like a master musician, a master animator. I've known hand-drawn animators that, they'd produced a minute or two of amazing animation, and it would literally take years to draw that. Yeah, literally take years. So the AI allows people to do that, and it's a great creative tool. And let me show you Don Pease. I'm going to end it here because I don't want to just sit here and watch his whole video. And I'm sure he has a lot of good stuff to say later on in the video too, because he always has a lot of insights. But let's go to his channel and I'll show you. Let's see. Yeah. So K Crusader, he's got a ton of good stuff, but K Crusader, that's his video.
Low from nooks and north, down low, nooks and north. Laughing while the josh me more. Turn the chaos into lore. He recorded thunder war. Down low, nooks and north. Every joke a secret.
Yeah, and let me, Bloodrunks has a clip of this where, Nux adapted this for his streaming, so it's really cool. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. I've shown you a lot of things. All the links will be in the description. You sort of get the idea, I think. So pretty bad problem. It's way bigger than just the Skyebrows community. It's all of YouTube, and there might be some really intense things going on, like what Clownfish TV has as its theory. It might be that that's what's really going on. I don't know. It could be.